address the issue of extremism by looking at this book. This book is African American History, A Child's Introduction to African American History. It actually has two individuals that one currently lives here in Jacksonville and one is from Jacksonville, James Weldon Johnson. And you go through this book and no one would question anything in this book until you get to the last page. Not the last page, to this. Black Lives Matter. So my media specialists are asking the question, would this be appropriate to be in our media centers? And these are so when we say extreme, it doesn't have to be that extreme to draw doubt in a media specialist or anybody's mind. Can we have this book and not be in a place that something is going to happen? We think that this can be as simple as something like this, where this is only mentioned on 3 pages. This also talks about police brutality on certain individuals. Someone could bring this book and indicate that a school is trying to indoctrinate a student. And it isn't like I'm afraid that our teachers are going to go to jail. But we have had employees have their teaching certificate sanctioned by simply something that was said that made someone uncomfortable. And that is what we're trying to protect our teachers from, protect our media specialists from. And at the same time, celebrate our history for all of our students, no matter their ethnicity, or for our students that are LGBTQ, that they should be able to see literature and books that represent them. So, I again will say, were we overly cautious? Yes, we were. Because we've actually seen an example of something we didn't think was extreme. Matter of fact, we thought it was benign, but it made its way all the way to the Office of Professional Standards, and we ended up trying to defend that, and it didn't work out as well for that individual. And so I'm just not going to allow that to happen to any of our educators and our administrators who work really hard, and yes, maybe some of them were over the top, but they show up each and every day for Team Duval. And if the board wants to review how the policy is, that is absolutely fine, because all we're trying to do is make sure that we're following statute and at the same time making sure our children have access. And our district just happens to be the one that is being talked about because, again, I think we are different because of the volume of books that we have that represent such a diverse demographic in our district.
Gonna board member, are you finished? Go to board member Jones for a second round, and then I'll come back to you. Oh,
it's super quick. Through the Vice Chair, Dr. Greene. In regards to now, parents are allowed to challenge books, and they have been. So if that book was to be challenged by a parent for showing Black Lives Matter, would one of the repercussions be that a teacher would lose its certificate, or do we just pull the book off the shelf and say we're not going to use that book anymore? If it goes through the challenge process,
and we have to go through a review process,
right?
And the district could say, we support this book. That does not prohibit anyone from going over to the Department of Education and saying, I think the district is, and then them reviewing, coming back to say, well, we disagree with your assessment.
Okay. So, yeah, I just wanted to see if that procedure would maybe alleviate some of the extreme measures as a teacher losing their certificate versus.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, since we've been through an example of that, I just cannot let another employee go through something like that, which I thought was quite benign, but people saw it differently.
Yeah, I think, thank you, Dr. Lee, for your work. I think fear is the term that's driving a lot of this. People are afraid. And although the district may have, and some principals may have gone to extreme measures to make sure that they protect employees, there are people in this community who are extremists who will, as pointed out earlier, pick one book and say, well, this is indoctrination. What is that? We really haven't defined what indoctrination is. How do you determine what's indoctrination? I think all of those nuances lead people to make sure that they protect their employees. We have a teacher shortage. It's my district, and Willie's district, harder than anybody else's, but we have a teacher shortage. We don't need our teachers working in fear and principals worried about their certificates. So I just want to thank them for that. And the last question, Dr. Greene. We have gift skills, even though a book may be recommended for a certain grade band. If a gifted student wants to access it, what is that process?
Through the Vice Chair, Board Member Jones, as Ms. Renfro stated, they would need to go to their media specialists, and they would have to bring it through a process that I think they should be. This chapter book, you're in 3rd grade and you're a teacher of the gifted want to use this book, though we're saying this is might end up being 6 and above. They would have to ask, can I challenge that? Can I have it waived? And it would have to go through a review to say let them use that.
They could do it, but the process would
Yeah,
be.
they would have to go through a process.
Third round.
Clarification.
Okay.
The teacher that lost her certificate or his certificate was that based on a book that they had in their classroom?
Through the chair to Board Member Joyce, they didn't use theirs.
Or was challenged? Was it based
It
on
was
just one
based-
book in their classroom,
It was based on 2 sentences in a play,
but not a book?
not specifically a book, but
Okay.
that book, those 2 sentences could easily have been in this book.
I just wanted to clarify whether it was a book.
No, it
or
wasn't a book.
different.
But it was related to the same law of indoctrination.